Hello there, are you wondering what exercise you should pick for your New Year's resolution? Well, you should pick squats. Hey everybody, it's Martin from 30 Day Challenges, the channel aimed at helping you get in shape. So in this video we're gonna count down the reasons why you should pick 30 days of squats as your New Year's resolution. Now, some of you might think squats are too easy, or I've got something for you too, but that's later. Right now, we're going to talk about why the squats are considered the queen of all exercises. Actually, you can consider squats the king of all bodyweight exercises. This is because there's not a single bodyweight movement you can perform that uses more muscles at the same time. There are several obvious and not so obvious reasons why this is a good thing, but I guess the most obvious one for you is that it's going to be the most efficient use of your time. But there's even more important reasons why you should pick squats other than, losing body fat or putting on muscle. The reason you know how to squat is because you were born to squat. Squatting is one of the most natural movements and positions, and we've kind of forgotten how to do it. This is because for hundreds of thousands of years, or however long we've been alive for, before the invention of the toilet, this is how we pooped. So our bodies actually evolved to squat. What actually happens when you squat is that your internal organs shift in such a way that allows the goods to come out easier. But don't take it from me, this poop unicorn can explain it much better than I can.
That's because when you sit on a porcelain throne, this muscle gets a kink in the hose and stops the Ben & Jerry's from sliding out smoothly. But what happens when you go from a sit to a squat? Voila! This muscle relaxes and that kink goes away faster than Pegasus laying sweet sherbet dookie.
So by squatting, you're being yourself. You're being natural. You will find it easier to poop. Okay, before you make up your mind on whether or not to do this challenge for your New Year's resolution, I want you to consider this. I want you to consider your legs and the fact that they're the largest muscle in your body, and they're probably this way because they've evolved to be constantly in use. And I want to ask you, how often during the day do you use your legs? Do you spend 8 hours at work sitting down and not using them? What about your commute? Do you spend the entire commute sitting down on a bus or a train? And what about when you get home in your free time? Do you spend it entirely sitting down watching something? Well, if you answered yes to 2 or more of these questions, then it's time you start doing squats. I remember twisting my ankle, and throughout the 5 months that it took to heal, I was in all sorts of pain and discomfort because I just wasn't able to use my legs. Which, like I said, largest muscle. If you're working out and you're not working out your legs, which is the largest muscle, are you really working out? Anyway, rant over. Great. You are inspired. You're going to do this squat challenge. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna teach you on the correct form. There are 3 cues I want you to keep in mind when you perform the squat. Number 1 is to keep your chest up and look forward. 2 is to pull your butt back as if someone is pulling your belt or if you're sitting down on something. And 3, go down as low as you can. Keep in mind everyone's gonna be different, especially with how low you can squat. But these are just guidelines, and your form might not be perfect at the start, but this is something you should aim for always. I'll explain to you why we do this. Number 1, the reason we keep our chest up is to keep our spine straight, which means it's going to be safe. The reason we look forward is also for our posture, but also is good for keeping our balance. Number 2, the reason we sit back instead of sitting down is because that way your upper body, the weight of your upper body is being taken by your hips, which are designed to take the weight of your upper body, instead of your knees, which you don't want to mess up your knees. Here's a video of what it looks like to do it the improper way. Another way you can think about it is by not letting your knees go past your toes. But bear in mind, if you're looking at your knees going past your toes, then you're automatically in incorrect form because you're now looking down instead of looking forward. And the third cue for us going as low as possible is to recruit as many muscles by having the largest range of motion. if you were to go to the gym, you wouldn't just do bicep curls from here to here, would you? You do the whole range of motion. Similarly with the squat. This step though does not apply if you're doing a weighted squat. So if you're doing a weighted squat, research something called the butt twink. That'll tell you about the correct form. So we're gonna make your program now, and the first thing that we're gonna do is by actually setting your benchmark, aka day one. So you're gonna do some squats right now. Pause the video and do as many squats as you can using the form described before, or do it later. Whatever, the point is that by seeing how much you can do by pushing yourself, this is gonna give you day one, and this is what the program would look like once you've filled out all the other days. So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna keep adding 5 each day, and every 4th day you have a rest day. So I started with 50 because I knew it would challenge me, but it doesn't matter whether you start on 10 or 100. The point is just to keep adding, and because you're only adding such a small number each day, your body is able to adapt. So it's as much of a mind game as it is a physical one. I actually found that the increased willpower that I had to summon to perform these extra few reps spread into other areas of my life. Okay, so I promise I'd have something for those of you who think the idea of a simple bodyweight squat is not challenging enough. Well, I found this variation incredibly tough. I dare you to do 20 reps and tell me that it wasn't hard. So we're using the same cues as before, but this time we're adding 3 more. You're raising a stick or a broom or a resistance band over your head and you're keeping it there. You're going down as low as you can, but once you get to the bottom, you're killing all momentum, so you're pausing for a moment, and then you're pushing the ground away. So pause the video, go do 20 reps, and tell me that wasn't hard. Or do them after. Okay, here's why it works. Number 1, by lifting your arms up overhead, you're actually forcing yourself to be in the correct posture, but you're also, using your shoulders and your upper back. Number 2, muscle is flexible and it's possible to use the elastic energy to spring yourself back up. The focus of training is control, and what you're doing there is you're cheating, basically. This is not safe, especially if you're doing it with a weight. By killing the momentum, you're using your strength entirely. Number 3, the reason you're going to think about pushing the ground away instead of just standing up is that it engages your glutes more. And this is a cue deadlifters use, and is a way of engaging more muscles, which make the exercise more intensive and thus more rewarding, but harder. Well, that's all this video is about. We got 8 good reasons why you should make squats your New Year's resolution. Did you learn something about squats from this video? Do you feel inspired to begin? How's the variation? Was it as hard as I said it was? If you know someone who may benefit from watching this video, please share it with them. If you did some squatting when I told you to, and you found that you are now covered in sweat, now's a good time to start my 30-day cold shower challenge as well. So thanks for watching and see you later.